Well, living in San Diego is not as perfect as Instagram makes it look, and having helped countless families over the years to relocate to San Diego, I've seen all sides of the city firsthand. But before we start, I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Don Pelletier, I'm a broker at the Don Pelletier Group. I've been a top agent right here in the San Diego market for over 4 decades. And today I'm going to tell you what it's really like to live here in San Diego County. I've scoured the internet, including places like Google and Reddit, to find the very top questions out there that most people are asking, so I can answer them for you. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to be providing a bonus tip that's going to certainly need to know. So let's not waste much time and let's get started. Well, starting with number 5, is San Diego really worth the high cost of living? Although I could make another video about just the cost of living here in San Diego County, the information gets outdated pretty quickly. Things are clearly becoming more expensive though, and we were recently rated the most expensive place to live in the entire United States. It's not just about the home prices, although we don't have the highest home values in California. There are other places, for example, like San Jose, that are more expensive when it comes to housing. But when you add up the cost of everything else, like daycare, electricity, gas for the car, these expenses really add up. So living in San Diego is a challenge because it's such an expensive place. And figuring out just how to manage these costs is really one of the biggest challenges that most people face by living here. Everything across the board is pricey, making it tough for many people. But despite the beautiful weather and the great amenities and everything San Diego is known for, the high cost of living is something everyone has to deal with here if they choose to live here in San Diego. But is living with these high costs really worth it? Well, if your goals are right, San Diego's high cost of living might be worth it for most people. Many people dream of living in the city because of its idyllic, beautiful weather, gorgeous beaches, and easygoing way of life. It's a center for outdoor sports and a wide range of restaurants and lively arts and culture scene. But housing prices and daily costs are much higher than the national average, as I mentioned, which can make things really hard and challenging for some. It might be worth the money though if you value a good quality life, being close to the ocean, and a slower pace that you find in many of the big cities like LA, for example. But the key to making it worth it is finding a balance between your budget and your job possibilities. Coming in at number 4, what's the biggest challenge of living in a city with absolutely perfect weather? Next, let's talk about what you won't like about living in San Diego. Even with the perfect weather, the most important thing we've already talked about is really the costs here. And while I help people move to San Diego on an ongoing basis all the time, it's interesting to hear what they think now that they've actually lived here for a while. People always talk about the same problems, with the cost of living, the traffic, the congestion, as some of the main things. We've already discussed traffic in our pros and cons video, and there's many more things to check out as well. It's not as bad as you think, but it's really still not great. I mean, a lot of people are really surprised by how much it costs to live, and especially when it comes to paying for childcare, as I mentioned. But besides that, even if we don't pay for childcare, most of us really can't afford to live right on the beach or, west of the 5 freeway, as they call it, for that matter. This means you might not go to the beach as often as you planned if it takes you, 15, 20, or 30 minutes to get there. The same goes for being farther from places where you can walk, or like going to downtown, for example. A 30-minute drive in San Diego is often taken for granted because everything's kind of spread out. But it is a long way. It's not so far that you'll never go there, but even with the perfect weather, the high costs, and the traffic would mean you're probably not going to go there as often as you think you will, or you would like. But it's interesting that out of the over 150 families that I personally helped move here, only a handful have ever left and have chosen to move back. And most of the time that was for family reasons. As a whole, there are some really annoying or frustrating things though about living here if you can't afford it. But in the end, it's worth it. So let's move on to number 3. How does San Diego compare to other big California cities like Los Angeles or San Francisco? San Diego and LA and San Francisco are 3 big cities that each have their completely own special way of living. San Diego costs significantly less to live in than San Francisco. It's about the same here as Los Angeles. In San Francisco, houses are way more expensive than in LA, and San Diego is a bit cheaper, especially in areas down south like Chula Vista, Imperial Beach, or areas in East County like La Mesa or El Cajon. San Diego has a very relaxed and easygoing feel with less traffic and fewer people compared to LA and San Francisco. LA is known for having really bad traffic, far worse than just about any other place that I've ever been, that's for sure. Quite honestly, over the past couple of years, it's really gotten much worse. In fact, my wife and I, we were heading to Ventura recently on the coast north of LA to visit with family. We've done this trip many times and it usually takes about 4 hours, maybe 4.5 at most. This time, it took us 6.5 hours to get there and it took 8 hours to come back home to San Diego. The weather in San Diego is nice all year, of course, not too hot or too cold. LA can be really hot, and San Francisco is cooler but often foggy as well. San Francisco also has better ways to get around town with buses, trolleys, and trains. San Diego, though, is perfect for people to want to live by the beach and enjoy a more calmer lifestyle. LA is great, of course, for those that work in the movies and entertainment industry, and San Francisco is ideal for people in tech jobs. So each city has something special to offer, just depending on what you like and where you work. Well, coming in at number 2, is it possible to enjoy San Diego on a budget? The short answer is yes. You can have fun in San Diego without spending a lot of money. To save on a place to live, of course, you can try living closer to the beach or sharing a home with others. Renting near the beach or downtown, though, can get really expensive. You can also use buses and the trolley here, which are cheap, and they help you save some money when you go places if that's something you want to do. San Diego has lots of things to do, though, that are free or not expensive. For example, you go hiking at Torrey Pines, Mission Trails, the Mission Bay Park, or you see the beautiful ocean at Sunset Cliffs. And if you like food, you can try some of the trucks that are out there. They're really good. Also, Tuesdays, for example, Rubio's Mexican Restaurants, it's a chain which are all throughout Greater San Diego. They offer Taco Tuesdays, where their famous fish tacos are just $2.50. Another great option are the many weekend happy hours that are pretty much throughout the entire city, where you can get great deals to be found on both drinks and food. Buying groceries and cooking at home, of course, can also save a good amount of money. So with a little planning, you can really enjoy San Diego's fun lifestyle, its beaches, and its attractions without spending too much or breaking the bank. For more ideas, check out websites like The Broke Backpacker or local budget guides for San Diego. Well, moving on to number 1. What's the best neighborhood in San Diego for families? San Diego has really many great neighborhoods for families throughout, each offering something special and a little different. Carmel Valley is one of the top choices because it has great schools, it's very safe, and it's close to the beaches and parks. Family also love areas like Pacific Highlands Ranch, Del Sur, which are small and quiet with lots of parks and good schools. Rancho Peñasquitos is another excellent place for families and a little less expensive. Lots of open space, outdoor activities, and well-renowned top-rated schools. There's also some nice community events as well. Del Mar Heights is probably one of the top options. It's close to the ocean, has low crime and good schools, though it can be quite expensive for most. But if you're trying to pick the best neighborhood for your family, affordability is certainly important. Some areas, especially close to the beach, can be pricey but offer really great schools and amenities. For example, if you like, walking neighborhoods near Balboa Park, Little Italy, and Hillcrest, these are all great areas of older vintage-style homes with a lot of character and charm, close to the shops and restaurants. For a quieter suburban feel, places like Mission Trails are perfect for families. Also, North County, including Carlsbad, Oceanside, and Encinitas, they all have really great downtown areas, great walkability, and they're close to the beach. Great restaurants and many shops. They also offer newer homes in some of these areas that are less touristy, beautiful landscaping, and just minutes to the beach. Well, thank you for watching this video till the end. I appreciate it very much. So I have a bonus tip for you. What's the real truth about San Diego's lifestyle? Is it glamorous or just hype? San Diego is a city that offers both a glamorous and a more practical lifestyle, just depending on how you look at it. As I mentioned, the city is famous for its amazing weather, beautiful beaches, and outdoor activities, as everybody knows. People who love surfing, hiking, or just spending time outside, they really love living here. Upscale neighborhoods like La Jolla, they offer fancy restaurants and give the city a luxurious feel. Many people come to San Diego for its relaxed yet vibrant way of life, with lots of things to do and see. However, there are definitely some challenges to living here, especially when it comes to the cost of living, like I was mentioning earlier. Housing can be very expensive, rentals competitive, and traffic can be a real problem in certain areas. With its friendly neighborhoods and access to nature, it can be really hard for middle-income families to afford living here when you consider the cost of everything. But even though San Diego has a lot of glamour, many residents appreciate the balance of enjoying a really beautiful outdoors and have a family-friendly, low-key lifestyle and neighborhood living. Living here does take some careful budgeting, but it's worth it for the city's mix of beauty, fun, and comfort. There's no place quite like it. Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to have more content like this, just click on the boxes on your screen to watch more. I've got over 300 videos here for you. Once again, my name is Don Pelletier. I'm a licensed broker here in the San Diego market. If you're considering moving, buying, or selling in San Diego and you want expert guidance, my contact information is in the description box directly below. Again, I have 4 decades of experience in the San Diego real estate market, and I personally successfully helped over 2,200 sellers and buyers across 67 different communities sell or buy a home here. So I know the area really well, and I'm happy to be a resource for you if you have any questions or need any guidance. If you'd like to stay updated on the San Diego real estate market, or you'd like to receive valuable insights about living in this beautiful city, make sure to subscribe and follow me here and all of my social media. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.